Hello guys, good morning. So I just want to share a little word with us, even though I'm driving. I actually shared this word on my live yesterday night, but I won't deny the fact that most of us, we've slept off. So I think it's worthy of me posting it here on my page so that
in 900 meters, turn right on B5465 towards town center.
God actually spoke to your situation. Unfortunately, you were not just in my life, yeah. So I talk about John chapter 2, 1 to 11, where Jesus performed his first miracle, which was turning water into wine. Okay, so apart from the faith of, I was commending the faith of the disciples, who Jesus Christ actually told to take the water to the master of the ceremony. Mind you that when he told them to take this water to the to the master of the ceremony, the water hadn't turned to wine yet. It hadn't turned to wine. It was still water. So it took faith and obedience for them to do that. So I commend their faith, but that's not what I'm talking about today. The main contest, or something I picked from this, the main lesson I picked from this scripture is that a lot of times, okay, let's use the same scripture, then I will now go into what I want to talk about. So you remember that the wine ran out in the wedding, yeah? And for someone to say that the wine ran out, it meant that it actually means that
in 300 meters, use the right lane to turn right on B5465 towards town center.
wine.
Then stay to the right.
Alright. So, which made it obvious that the wine had run out. I'm using our today's wedding to judge what must have happened on that day. In our today's wedding, when maybe wine ran out and maybe it was getting to your turn and the wine finished or the food finished, a lot of you will get angry, or you see that the thing is finishing and they jumped you and gave to another person. You get mad, you get angry. Some of you will just dash out and start going home, right? You start going home, you get angry, you be pissed with the whole thing, especially with people sharing the item 7, right? It now brought me to our today's word. I picked out this contest from what God told me, yeah? The insight God gave me is this. In our today's world, a lot of times, when we see people around us getting blessed, when we see people around us making progress and we are not, instead of us to be happy for them, we become angry that God has forgotten us. But we forget that when people around you are getting blessed, it only shows that God is in the neighborhood. All right, it only shows you that your blessing is around the corner. This is not the main point. I'm just bringing out this one now. So, but what I'm trying to say is that a lot of times people wait on something. They are praying for something, and when it seems like that thing is not coming forth, they leave God. They leave God's presence. They leave the waiting room and go in search of dark powers. It might not necessarily be dark powers. They want to help God. We should be lucky we live in the era of his grace, because from the Bible, a guy wanted to help the ark of God from falling, and God struck him dead. It is by his mercy that there are things we say is not sin. It doesn't matter, but it matters to God. Wouldn't you have said in those days that, oh, God is wicked for him to have killed someone that was just trying to help? He's only trying to prove a point. I can tell you for a fact that some bad things happen to people not because they necessarily did anything to warrant that, or let me rephrase it to, not necessarily because God's mercy couldn't have prevented that, okay? But God allowed those things to teach somebody lesson. Alright? He allowed that thing so that he can teach the next person who is watching that a lesson. Especially someone he wants to use for great things. Alright? He will allow someone when the person does something, instead of his mercy to prevail that period, he wants the next person who he wants to use for a great thing to learn a lesson from that thing, so that there will be a holy fear in that person. Okay? There will be a kind of holy fear in that person, so that they will fear God. They will know that, see, if you try nonsense, this can be your fate. Right? A lot of us, we've missed our becoming. We've missed destiny. We've missed purpose just because of impatience. We've missed what God has in store for us just because we were not patient enough to receive. And I made an illustration from one animated stuff I came across sometime few years ago, and it showed that someone was actually, two guys, A and B, were cultivating on their land, yeah, and A dug like 3 feet and got his reward, which was not even as much as the one God has proposed for B. All right, B had dug 4 feet. He did not see anything. He dug 5 feet and he did not see anything. What he did was he left his own and he went where Team A dug and has carried his own treasure and left. He started going there. He dug 10 feet and he still did not get anything, and he was frustrated. But from that picture, from that video, we saw that B's treasures were up on the 6th feet. So if he had dug extra 1 feet and was patient enough,
use the right lane to turn right on B5465 towards town center. Then stay to the right to B5465, Spring Gardens.
Because he was not patient enough.
Stay to the right to B5465, Spring Gardens.
Sorry, let me just